Please comment and subscribe.
Usually villains, usually people that I was taught not to like, people that broke the rules. Tennessee Williams certainly saved my life, really, because everything I read about in Life magazine, Jackson Pollock, Beatniks, I thought, oh, I want to be a Beatnik. That was the first thing I still want to be a Beatnik. And it was filmed on the roof of my parents' house. And it was an African-American man marrying a white woman, and the wedding was performed by a Ku Klux Klan leader. So right off, I was the same kind of subject matter. I was using ridiculous humor to, I guess, make some kind of political point. And I think if you do make a political point, humor is the best way to do it. Well, to me, Pasolini is not. I don't think Solo's obscene. I think it can use obscenity in a way to make a point about fascism. About fantasies, about power. That's a movie about the pornography of power, really. I recently read a biography of the Luntz where the author speculated that this great pair had, by the end of their career, exhausted the concept of fame itself, something that is quite appealing to me. Thank you for having me. Are you kidding? I'm still in shock that we're having this show. John Waters at the Academy Museum. What a delicious kind of beginning and ending and all mixed together. I'm very flattered. Then later in life, certainly Jean Genet was a huge influence. I had read about underground movies through Jonas Mekas and The Village Voice. Even though I lived in Baltimore, I don't know how I got The Village Voice. They didn't sell it in Lutherville, Maryland. Walt Disney, because I always rooted for the villain. I thought Cinderella's stepsisters were way more fun. I liked the Queen and Snow White. I liked Captain Hook. I never liked the heroes. I was very influenced by Theater of the Ridiculous and Edward Albee, and Sallo's a beautiful movie, though. Sallo, that last shot of the two soldiers dancing in that beautiful set. Pasolini, he's a Catholic saint to me. I want my gravestone to look like his. I pray to Pasolini. If there's I think that movie's a beautiful movie. And unfortunately, he was murdered by a hustler almost right after he made that movie. So he died for our sins. And my grandmother gave me a Browning movie camera, and I didn't know there was editing. I just shot it in order. It was very Dogma 95, really. Very much when I was a kid, the thing that changed my life really is I was about 10 years old and I went to see House on Haunted Hill with William Castle, and they had Emergo, which is where a skeleton went on a wire next to the booth across the top of the theater, the projection booth, and it was the big gimmick. And the entire audience of sold-out children went insane. It was anarchy, and I always tried to duplicate that image. And the end of Pink Flamingos got close, but never as good as William Castle. So I think it uses the very extreme sexual subject matter in a very intellectual way. I don't know, the living theater and all that kind of stuff at the time. And so it was also very not that original. I had seen other underground movies and everything. I was like a kid. I was like 17. What age did I want to be a filmmaker? Well, I was a bossy child, and I was a puppeteer. Most film directors had puppets. I make films because I like to tell stories. I'm Uncle Remus. And I think that basically who are the people I tell stories to? I made exploitation films for art theaters, and people that have a sense of humor and don't fit in their own minority. That's my core audience. Very Lars von Trier without realizing it. And I just saw the light reading I could do. It was black and white. And it was filmed in my parents' house, which we called Dreamland Studios, my bedroom. If I could change anything, well, I probably wasted a couple years trying to make the sequel to Pink Flamingos. I learned that really, if something doesn't get made right away, it usually doesn't get made. It's dead in the water. So don't spend too much time. If something doesn't work and you've spent 2 years on it, move on to the next idea.